So I'm down here at my new house down in La Paz, Mexico, and I can talk more about that in another video. But I'm here and I set up my office and I've got two cameras. So I've got my seeing eye to eye camera. There'll be up in one of these corners, there'll be a link to that. But typically when I'm working with a client, I'm looking this direction, but often it's easier to work with this camera. And you can see in the background that I have a huge halo from my ring light. So my ring light is mounted just a little bit off and behind my setup that I'm using most often. But like I said, I like to use this too, and it looks to me unprofessional to be showing that ring light behind me in that picture. So there's a number of ways you can handle this. I think you can, put some kind of special glass over the top, but I think the easiest way is just to change the angle of the photograph so that it's not reflecting, kind of the ring light is going back there and then reflecting right back into the camera. So all we have to do is really change the angle. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. So I didn't have the exact right hardware to do this with, but this is Mexico, so we made do with these wall hangers that are that I've nailed into the back of the frame of the picture, about halfway down the frame on both sides. And then I took this picture wire and set it up to go between those two so that it reaches to the top of the frame in the middle, just kind of twisting the ends around. And I'll have links to all of this down below in terms of the wire and the different connections and the proper connections and whatnot. But yeah, and then I hung it on the wall and it was just a tiny little bit better. But the key was to tilt it forward. Now that it was on a different connection, instead of having just the regular connection where it's nailed in, I was able to push it out from the wall at an angle. So I took some styrofoam and just looking at my monitor, I was back there on my couch, just kind of pushing down the styrofoam to the right size so that it was right at the point where the light was no longer visible. It didn't look like the picture was strange the way it was sitting on the wall. So you might be able to use cardboard or wood or any number of different things, but I had styrofoam sitting around the house, so I just propped it forward. So you could glue that in there if you wanted, but I just pushed it behind. It's held in place just by gravity, and it looks great. And it even is something where it doesn't look off when you walk into the room and you're seeing it from the side. It doesn't look too strange. So hopefully you're able to just change the angle of whatever you have in the background so that you aren't seeing the reflection of your ring light behind you. As I mentioned earlier, I'm spending the winters now in La Paz, Mexico, which is wonderful. And I've made a video out on my other channel about moving to Mexico, so if you're interested in that. Otherwise, down here, I have a video about this eye-to-eye setup where I usually work with my clients where I'm looking them directly into the eye. It's a great webcam setup. Check that one out next.